Welcome to the first episode of the COPILOTS. Welcome. This is our series that we started, and we should first introduce ourselves.
Yeah,
Who are we
as well.
really? Before all the passion shenanigans that just happened, and it's definitely not the second time we're all doing this.
Yeah.
But
And I am joined here by a very good friend of mine.
hi.
I am so fed up with you not remembering your own name.
Welcome.
That aside,
who are we?
yeah, I can get started on that. My name is Topias. It's originally a Finnish name, and that is indeed where I'm originally from as well. I live in the Netherlands, have been for the past roughly 4.5 years, and I am joined by my very good friend.
Vishwa. My name is Vishwa Jad. I am also a third-year aerospace engineering student.
Yes.
As
As am I.
Yeah, as is he. And my hobbies are, for example, boxing and sort of just exercising, a bit of music, and yeah, just doing things that are fun, I guess. And our main passion together that we share is, of course,
On top of our passionate relationship,
already.
we're also big fans of aerospace engineering, which is both of our major.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is probably like the main reason why we're still such good friends up until today.
The only reason.
The only reason.
No, I'm kidding.
So,
But if this is not how we became friends, how did we?
Yeah, I
Become
honestly
friends.
don't really have an answer to
Oh,
that. Like
okay.
the thing is, like, I think we would have been like decently close friends, at least in high school as well, because we had a lot of classes together. We had English, economics, physics, maybe something else as well.
I thought we were good friends in high school.
Oh, you really thought so? Man,
Oh,
your
I
mom
didn't.
was just paying me. Sorry,
Oh.
Joe was just paying me.
Who's
Joe Mama!
Oh man, walked right into that one.
Yeah.
But the truth is, yeah, we knew each other from high school.
Yeah,
The high school was located in Hilversum in the Netherlands,
yeah, not far from Amsterdam.
very close. And we were there from, well, he was there since 11th grade. I was there from before.
Yeah.
But that's where we met, in 11th grade, in one of the physics classes.
Yeah.
And what happened actually?
Yeah, like, we were just casually chatting. It was, the first time meeting each other, and decided to get a little bit deeper with the topics that I was going through in the conversation, and I asked Vishwa what he wanted to become when he grew up and what he wanted to do after high school. And to my pleasure, I found out that you wanted to do aerospace engineering, which obviously I was quite hyped about, to put it bluntly. And that was certainly something I shared. That was also my primary plan for what I wanted to do after high school finished.
Yeah.
And I think that's I guess the main explaining factor why we are here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to put it, I think. And indeed, we were just sort of, he just asked me a question about what I would want to do in, for example, in university. And, I said, I don't know, maybe aerospace engineering. And that seemed to be the hit.
Yeah.
Because he went, what? Really?
Yeah.
And that was sort of the moment that we married each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
It
It
was
was a beautiful ceremony.
It was great. It was
Both
really
of our
weird.
families. I was really happy that the priest could also do it in English, in Marathi, and
Yeah.
in Finnish, so that
But-
all of our families would be accustomed to.
It was kind of weird because he was also our physics teacher.
Yeah.
So he did give us like low grades for the
Yeah.
semester.
Yeah, exactly.
But
But
it's a give or take.
he was like, how can we?
Can good that? Yeah. No, but in reality, you were. That's how we became friends, really. And after that point, we sort of had essentially just been friends because we had a similar path and we
Yeah.
stayed in contact with each other to follow this path together, I guess. And that's how we ended up in aerospace.
Yeah. I think there's some funny anecdotes that I think might be enjoyable to find out about. Like, for example, during our senior year of high school, we discussed getting married somewhat seriously, just for reasons of Fish saving a lot of money on his college tuition, because I mean it is way more expensive for
Allegedly.
non-EU citizens. Allegedly.
Cannot
of course.
deny nor confirm.
Yeah. And we were also supposed to be roommates during college.
That's true. That is true, actually, which never happened.
Yeah.
Even though this is the place we're at right now.
Yeah, it is my place.
His home. Yeah, it is his home.
Yeah.
But
his first time here. It usually never comes by.
Never. It stinks here as well. Vomit. It was
crap.
Bro, it's meant to be family friendly. You can't use the C word like that.
Sorry.
That's not as worse as crap. But yeah, indeed, we're also gonna bleep a lot of these things out because you know a lot of these cannot go in the thing. Of course, it's our first time doing this, and
like, we're gonna have the uncensored and then the family-friendly version separately.
Exactly, and you know we talked about where we come from, sort of who we are.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more on where we come from because we're both not Dutch.
Yeah.
Actually, so we're actually international students living in the Netherlands, doing university in the Netherlands. So how did that happen?
Yeah.
It's a valid question.
Something I want to ponder about in this episode. So I moved to Scotland when I was 3 years old, and my mum, she was saying that, "Oi Top, you look like a ginger fella, so you better get a Scottish accent or something."
I swear that sounded Indian at first. And then I think you call yourself and you're like, oh, I have to be Scottish.
Yeah. It's like, fuck, go north. Yeah, okay, anyways. So I was born and raised in Finland. I lived there up until I was about 14 years old. And then, together with my parents, I moved to London for a couple of years. I did my upper secondary school there. I did GCSEs. Any British listeners will know what those are. For the non-British among you, it's essentially these exams that you do at the end of your, I guess, upper secondary school at the age of roughly 16. And then after that, my parents and we moved to the Netherlands all together. Their jobs got relocated because of Brexit, and I had to find an international school. And me and my parents, we all seemed to think that the International School of Hilversum would be a good choice.
I'm sure that was not your first choice, right? It has to be like a Plan B, Plan C sort of thing.
Yeah, we looked into a lot of international schools in the capital region area of the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, like, some of them, they were just too full, some of them were really expensive, others just didn't seem to be up to par quality-wise. And in the end, it really seemed like the sort of best of all worlds, so to say.
I say it was like a Plan B, C because when I tried to go there, it was definitely a Plan B or even C because all the schools that maybe I started a bit late, to be fair, when I came to the Netherlands, which was when I was 10 years old. So before that, I was living 10 years in India, and then I moved with my family for work, not for myself, but I didn't do child labor.
It's India after all, you never know. You have to clarify that.
My parents moved here for work, and then onwards, we were looking for schools, but it was in September, late September, and all the schools, like the Amsterdam ones, the Hague ones, all full. They said, we have no place for a kid like you.
Yeah.
And they were full. There was nothing, nothing we could do, and then the only school was sort of Hilversum. But of course, you weren't there in the 6th grade there. I had to do the secondary and high school in that school before, in high school where you join. And then sort of we, did the whole aerospace journey, I guess. And now we're 3 years into the aerospace university.
Yeah.
Which is actually quite crazy to think about or even say. But yeah, we're third year Bachelor Aerospace Engineering students at the TU Delft.
Yeah.
Which is not exactly our current location, but we're in the same city.
Yeah.
Say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, then talk to me about like being an international student. How has it sort of been, I guess?
And I guess I could also sort of do some sort of comparison between being an international student first in England and then being an international high school student and then a university student. But I'd say overall the way it's been handled either by my parents when I was younger and couldn't handle these things on my own, it was always pretty much done with my interests at heart. So I personally haven't really had to experience any tough times with being an international student in a foreign country, unlike a lot of other people who do have to go through that sort of stuff.
Sure.
But I'd say the Netherlands is definitely a very welcoming country. People speak really good English here. They're very open to speaking to you regardless of where you're originally from. And I'd say like student culture, it's not very limited to those that speak Dutch or are of Dutch descent per se.
Yeah, I think that's true. That is a good thing about the Netherlands, at least from our experience.
Yeah, we can only speak for ourselves.
Yeah, talking about experiences, you know, I want to sort of give a bit of a, you know, background on what we're doing here and what the point of this podcast, the Co-Pilots, is. Because, you know, we've been kind of all over the place so far. But I guess the point is, you know, we're third year bachelor aerospace students. You know, we're 20 years old, we're internationals living in the Netherlands, and we just want to share sort of our experiences of how it's been, how it's going, and how we expect it to go, I guess. And yeah, like I guess our which brings me to our target audience, or whoever, you know, would listen to this. And to be honest, it's pretty much just anyone who would listen. And of course, we expect it to be
probably most of the people roughly our age, maybe a bit younger, maybe some people interested in engineering, aerospace, being an international student somewhere. Yeah,
and then pretty much maybe how, you know, getting into university is, or how university here is. Those kind of questions we can definitely cover. But at the end of the day, it's pretty much a fun time. We're here for.
Well, we're here to learn as well. I guess.
I guess we're of course here to learn. I would want to say, you know, we're here for a good time. We're here to just talk.
We're here for a good time, not for a long time.
I was literally gonna say that. But what was interesting that we started this podcast now is that essentially, you know, we've been together from high school.
Yeah, almost for 5 years.
For 5 years now, and now it's sort of the point near which our paths are going to diverge.
Yeah.
And you know, we've been best friends for a while, and
definitely.
We I guess we want to keep in touch with each other, and you know, kind of talk about our experiences. And you know, all of the stuff that happened, and I guess also the future, and
I thought,
see how this will go.
Yeah, this might be like a nice glue to bring us together, even when aerospace may no longer be it.
Exactly.
And
yeah,
that's, I think, main reason.
Speaking about aerospace may no longer be, what's happening?
Yeah.
What is actually happening? I spoke about the path, but how would you put it?
Yeah, no, I think the best way to answer that is sort of maybe just going over the stuff that I'm doing right now and what I'm planning to do in the next couple of years, and then maybe after that you can compare your own path that you're about to take. But yeah, so like right now I'm still studying aerospace engineering, and I also have a part-time job in this AI firm not very far from here. And let's see, next year I'm hoping to take that role full-time at the AI firm, and also do some traveling, finish my thesis, therefore get my degree. And then after that, so roughly a year from now, I'll be doing the conscription, which is mandatory for me as a Finnish citizen. And as you may be able to deduce from Fish's extremely cool shades, Air Force is where it's at. Yeah. As far as I can tell for now.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks.
But speaking about the first thing, the job.
Yeah.
How did you actually manage to get that job?
Yeah, so it pains me to say this, but it was definitely because of connections that I had into the company. I just knew one of the guys working there. We had been collaborating on this student initiative here in Delft beforehand during the past year. And because of that, we just sort of knew each other, and we both knew that we could rely on each other and on like delivering deadlines and, well, just being punctual. And I sent him a message on WhatsApp. Like, we talk occasionally, and I was saying like, if the company that you're working at is hiring, I'd love to get maybe a part-time role, and I'm open to doing all kinds of stuff: engineering, non-engineering, project coordination, management, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And luckily for me, they were actually hiring, and
Definitely a very non-conventional route to, for example, getting a job.
yeah, big time.
A bit of a derailing, but I just realized while looking here that my glasses are reflective, so they can basically see your entire home right now.
I wouldn't be too worried about that. Everyone's gonna be looking at my anyways.
You know what?
I didn't want to say the T words.
Oh, okay.
So I said tits.
Cut. But nice. It's cool that you're doing, I guess, yeah, pretty much very different things.
Yeah, versatile things.
Versatile things, because I guess it's not very common to do a bachelor or then during bachelor do a job. I guess at least for aerospace engineering.
Yeah,
and
it is a very intense degree.
it is very, very intense. And then after that, doing conscription, which is military Air Force service for a year.
Yeah.
It's very, very versatile. Very, very different things.
Yeah, that's very much a nice word for all over the place.
Yeah, AOTP.
But let's talk about you for a bit.
Yeah.
So you're also a third year.
I'm also third year. Also third year, and I have now I'm gonna be now graduating this year with my bachelor's degree in aerospace engineering, essentially this summer, and I was able to. I just didn't do any big projects outside or job, for example. So I was able to do it in the nominal time frame, which is nice. So then now I can look forward to potentially work after this degree in the summer, and of course it's gonna be difficult finding work as a bachelor. I guess especially in the Netherlands, but I'll try and apply to everything, and hopefully I do get something. But if I don't, I'll also apply for masters, and I'll keep my options sort of open to see whatever I get. But I'll still prefer a job at this point after my bachelor than a master, for example, because I feel like when you do a job, I will get some good work experience in the aerospace industry, and then I'll be able to really judge whether I enjoy something like this, and if I want to do a master maybe in this field, because right now I don't have that perspective and I don't have the exact answer, and I know maybe, for example, what masters I'm interested in, and that's the ones I'm going to apply, but it's sort of hard to really know, because it is weird, after being a high school student, you do a degree. For us it was 3 years, and it was quite theoretical, I guess, quite it is a BSc degree, so it's very much different from how a working environment would be.
Definitely.
So sort of want to see how that working environment would be before I can choose what master I want to look at, and pretty much do what I want to do for the rest of my life, because I think that's sort of a question for a lot of people, because
definitely at this stage of your life. Definitely
now for maybe a lot of high school students, a lot of I think a lot of students in general, even, because you always have dreams when you start as a young kid, and they change over time. And it's always like a question of what next.
So I guess this is our manifestation of our quarter life crises, respectively. And broadcasting it out to the world.
Wait, that means you're predicting we're gonna die at 80.
Let's be optimistic. 83.
Okay, alright. I mean that's good. I think it's a decent age.
Okay.
Personally, I would like 100, but it's alright.
Alright, a fifth is fine as well. But so you said that you wanted to work in the aerospace sector, preferably to really find out what kind of a master's you want to do and what kind of a role you see yourself in long term.
Yes.
What would your ideal job description be like right now after the summer, once you've graduated with the bachelor?
It's a good question. For starters, I think a job that involves the aerospace industry somehow is a good sign. Because that is what we study. I wouldn't mind something that's more mechanical engineering based or just engineering based. But of course, I chose aerospace for a reason, and it was a good choice, by the way. I think we both can agree that.
It definitely opens a lot of doors.
It was the right choice in study that we made. And we were fortunate enough to have that, because some people don't have the I guess privilege even to actually end up liking what they chose. But as a job, I would like it to be, I think, somewhat of a engineering related job, I guess, to put it vaguely enough.
Yeah.
And would that be similar to something you would like working as well, or?
Yeah, I'd say long term, I definitely see myself more of as an maybe R&D, maybe later down the line advisory type of role. But yeah, right now I'm doing project coordination, which isn't exactly engineering, but then again, the firm that I'm doing it in is AI based, so I do have to interact with a lot of I guess systems where I could definitely apply like some systems engineering principles the way we've been taught here.
Way too late.
Big time.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's I guess sort of the point where paths are gonna diverge and
Yeah.
they're gonna go separate ways, like how they were before we met, and
Yeah.
somehow these lines cross and then slowly go away again. And
Don't worry, the math analogies they'll come into the picture later.
I hope not. But yeah, sort of to see what we're gonna talk about. It's gonna be just whatever, really. I mean, it's
Yeah, we'll go with the
it's
flow.
open to the flow, and I think we both do enjoy conversations.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I think they're definitely good conversations to have,
Yeah.
and especially conversations that I think people might be interested in
Yeah.
hearing. And what do you think? Why do you think we think this is a good idea? Like, why us? Why should we talk?
Yeah, no, that's I think that's a really good question, but I think first and foremost we are very upbeat in the way that we express ourselves, and that is something that maybe can hopefully brighten somebody's day at some point, if it's necessary.
Hopefully, we can brighten your day.
That's quote. Hopefully we can brighten your day.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah, light up might be a bit more colloquial.
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, no, but I think it might be entertaining. I think people that are maybe a bit younger than us, they might actually get quite some value out of the conversations and the insight that we're bringing as senior students. Maybe, yeah, other people considering becoming international students, they might find this interesting. And as we said, like, the format is really open so far, so like, I think we're both very open to the idea of maybe having guests at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyone who I guess has something to say and is interesting enough that we know of,
Yeah.
and that want to share their experience over an interesting topic.
Yeah.
And yeah, at the end of the day, though, we're just having fun.
Yeah.
We're just talking. We're just keeping it real, and that's sort of the vibe that I guess we try to go for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope you guys look forward to this. And although this episode was sort of all over the place, we hope to have given you sort of an understanding of who we are, what we're trying to do, and where this might go. That being said, this has been
The
Co-Pilots.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell and stuff.
Yeah, follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram. Okay, we'll do the socials later.
At Vishwa Jad. Thank you for listening. Co-Pilots out. That was pretty smooth.
Yeah, that was pretty smooth.